If you're marketing something in your business like teaching a class or a product that you're going to be creating, are you allowed to use other people's photos as inspiration images to show what the client will be getting? Let's talk to everybody's favorite IP and entertainment lawyer, Tony, to find out more.
My name is Tony Leocastis. I'm an adjunct professor of entertainment law and IP at New York Law School, and I have an Instagram, YouTube, and TikTok account called the IP Professor that is dedicated to all things intellectual property.
There's been a lot of buzz in the industry recently because we're seeing newer entrepreneurs go to other more established entrepreneurs' websites, social media, and taking their posts, their content, the photos or videos that they have created, and then using them to represent their own businesses as inspiration content for what you might learn in a class with them or something that you might get when you're working with their business. What do we need to know about this in terms of copyright infringement and how to make sure we're legally protected with this?
Yeah, so I think you're hitting the nail on the head, Cam. When you find someone else's photo and video, and you're using that content to promote your product or your service or whatever you're trying to promote, that's red flag number one, right? You're taking someone else's copyrighted material to then sell as your own, and that's as copyright infringement as it ever gets. It's complete fraud, misappropriation. You're misrepresenting yourself as the copyright owner of something that clearly doesn't belong to you. So there are a lot of resolutions to a matter like this. Number one is to go about it the kosher way of getting a license. You could always contact the origin copyright owner, the person that made the work that you want to use, and say, hey, look, I'm trying to sell a service, or I'm trying to promote a product that I've got. I really like what you created because it's very akin to what I'm trying to do. Can you grant me permission? If you're dealing with somebody that, is reasonable, maybe they'll be reasonable with you in return. So it's a matter of negotiating. Clearly, they're not going to give that material for free. It's going to come at a fee because that's how something like this works, especially if you're using someone else's copyrighted work for commercial purposes where you're trying to solicit a transaction. So the negotiation is going to be pretty essential there. But if you are the type of entrepreneur that can't afford, let's say, thousands of dollars because what the photographer or what the videographer is asking for is outside your budget, there are many other options to go about it. You could go to websites like Shutterstock or Getty or any other photo house that may have either pretty good standard editorial images that you can use for your product, or you could find good stock imagery. There are websites even like Pexels where you could find even stock imagery that you're looking for free, and you could still be able to evoke the message of where you could send the message where you're in very clear fashion. Of course, you want to make sure that when you're working with those photo agencies that you're reading the terms and conditions to make sure that there aren't any restrictions on using that material for commercial purposes, because at the end of the day, that's what it's all going to boil down to. Especially if you're dealing with Getty or Shutterstock, there may be a little extra cost that comes with using that type of photo for commercial purposes, like an advertisement or something else that would be commercial in nature. So being mindful, reading all those provisions are going to be very essential. And if you at any point feel lost, confused, or just bewildered by how the landscape of copyright licensing works, you can always contact a lawyer that can help you with acquiring the rights to someone else's copyrighted material, or to even help you read the black and white of the terms and conditions.
It is absolutely not worth it to be taking somebody else's piece of content and then having to deal with a potential lawsuit. So you do want to check in with your lawyer if you have questions. You want to make sure that you are securing that licensure from the copyright holder, or better yet, if you're trying to represent your business and to teach someone something, if you're trying to give a product, you are accurately representing that by taking your own photos and videos so that people really know the quality of what you are creating or what you're going to teach them to create. If you have further questions on this, go ahead and drop it down below, or any questions in the legal space of entrepreneurship. We would love to get those answered for you. And as always, you can reach out to Tony on his social media. Tony, where can everybody find you?
You can find me on Instagram, YouTube, and TikTok at the IP Professor, and you can check out my podcast, and Scene, an entertainment law podcast, released every Friday on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, or wherever you listen to podcasts.
Hit that subscribe and notification bell because Tony is coming back for more episodes. And if you have questions in the legal realm of entrepreneurship, now is the time to let us know. And every single day, we're dropping episodes to help you navigate the world of TikTok, Lemonade, Instagram, YouTube, live streaming, and the tools and resources you need to save time and effort creating your social content so you can make more money online, but spend less time and stress doing it. We'll see you in the upcoming episodes.